So the second video today, I wanted to talk about waterproof inks because I found that while I was nature journaling, if I added a wash of watercolors or, at my colored soluble pencils, it would smear. So for instance, I did this one, which I must have let the ink dry a long time, so it was okay. But then I did this one, and let's see, in there, it all smeared. So I was really frustrated. So I started figuring out what I could do. And one of my solutions is always the Micron pens. We love Micron pens. They're great. They're waterproof, but I don't always want to, hold a marker type feel. The brush pens are nice. They do a lot of sumi sketching, which I like. And the nibs come in different points. So the 005 is very fine, very delicate though. Usually this one is a 0.5 thicker line, and a lot of illustrators use these because they are great. So let me just take my watercolor brush and show you. So see how it's basically, it is leaking a little, but give it a couple seconds and it will be fine. Then I started using the Sailor fountain pen, and it had, I think, a waterproof cartridge, but it was still smearing a little bit thicker line. So if I go straight, it has like a little bent tip on the side. I don't know if you can see that. Oops. So, it's made for calligraphy. And then if I turn it over, I get that, but it's still smeared. So let's just take my finger. So it needs a little bit more time, but not too bad. That's the Sailor pen, and it had a refillable cartridge. But my favorite right now, and I bought several of these inexpensive fountain pens, and they have ink cartridges that come with them, but they're not always waterproof. So after reading, and I like a really fine tip. So this one is the Pilot Kakuno, and I really like it. This has what we call a refillable cartridge with kind of a piston, and it is, I wrote down the name because you can order it. It's the Pilot Con, C-O-N 70 converter. And basically you put this on, and I don't want to mess with it because it's filled with ink, but you insert it into the liquid ink that you find that's pure waterproof. And then you push down really, it's not that it's hard to push down, but the really fast push lets it fill up with ink. And supposedly right now, this is one of the biggest cartridges of refillable ink. So not only can you put waterproof ink in it, but you could put colored ink in it. So my next search is to use a waterproof green ink with my pen, which I really like, so I can make my fine pine tree thing. So here it's dry, and let's put the watercolor brush over it. And you see that's just the water, so it does not smear. So the ink I found which was pricey, is, let me put the cap on it. It's DE Atramentis archival ink. And I think it was about $19, $20 for this jar, which will probably last a good time, but at least I know it won't smear. So I have another Kakuno pen, and I took out, I think with it, there's no cartridge, but it has a smaller converter. I'm trying to get it up to the screen. And basically it has a device that you kind of pull back and the cartridge fills with ink. So let's try it. I haven't tested it out. Put this in, and I think I need to push the piston or whatever in there. So I'm going to try. I have Dr. Martin's ink Iridescent. It doesn't say waterproof, so I need to look for a waterproof, but it's a really pretty color and iridescent. Hopefully it's not too thick for the pen. And I see there's some a glob in there, so let me just push that down. Oh, it's a bubble, not a glob. That's good. And then I have to insert this tip into the ink, and then I'm going to turn it slowly, and it's not filling. So maybe it's not in deep enough, I don't know. Well, that's basically how it's supposed to fill. Here it is. Okay, it's slowly coming in. I do like the other converter better. I'm trying to tilt it to see if maybe it's the angle or it's not getting the ink. Okay, it's coming up. Oh, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's not completely filled. I'm just gonna clean off that so it doesn't get on my hands. But the converters are nice, but I do like the other one because it holds more ink. So especially if I'm out nature journaling, oops, so this whole big piece came out, oops. So it's good to see what happens, not everything, and you won't panic. So maybe it wasn't twisted enough in there. Usually it just pops in. And the Kakuno has like a little smiley face on the tip. This one's a fine. I believe they have bigger. So let me put the cap cartridge back on and see if it comes out. So I'm just gonna seems like it might be pretty full. Let's see if we can shake it to get it activated. Not really working the way I'd like. So I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to play with it. See if it looks like there's ink in there. You can see it filled. And pushing it up, maybe it's not up. So sometimes they're finicky. I really liked the other one. It worked really great. So if all else fails, I can use it with a dip pen. And I can get great fine lines at home. But what I'm trying to do is find this to be portable and to be able to take it with me on nature journaling. So pay attention to your pens and inks. I may have talked about this in other videos. This one's a different pen and ink. Let's let it sit a second. This comes with, these both have cartridges. And letting them sit to dry. And then you can see this one's pretty waterproof. And let's see, this one's a Japanese brand. And it doesn't say the name. Let's see, maybe this is it on it. But I did get it at the local art store, so you should be able to. And I have these in white and gold. Oh, Japanese writing. So you can see it is smear ink a little bit. And that bleeds. So sometimes in journaling, you know, you may want your pens or pencils to bleed to make shadows on your paper. So I just want to alert you that, you know, it may say waterproof, but it's not totally waterproof. And I still can't get this one to work. So I'll clean it out and keep working. Maybe something with the converter is not connecting. See if we can push it, maybe push it up a little bit. It's pushing up here, so I'm not sure what's wrong. I'll have to check it, but at least you know, if you get the converter 70, it's much easier to work. It's foolproof, and if you order the ink, I'm checking on another brand called Noodlers. It has a lot of pretty inks, and they're supposed to be waterproof, but I do know that this one, it's not smearing. So it's just, you know, it's still wet. You got to give it a second, but at least I know that when I put watercolors or water over it, it's not going to smear. Look at that. So that's a relief. And all I need to do is make sure it's filled when I leave the house, and I don't have to take a million pens or pencils with me. So good luck on that. If you have any questions, let me know. This video will also be on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe and get notified on either or when I have a new video. I hope you'll like it, enjoy it, and keep watching. Have a great weekend. Thanks for coming by.